In this today's tutorial, we will be understanding about global list. Using global list by making a process flow, we will understand how we can push the task sequence into the list and then ask operators to use the task as a to-do list. We will also understand about creating priorities and picking up parts which are highly important. We are going to look into multiple debottlenecking steps by using this process flow, and this is how your model is going to look once you complete this tutorial. Now let us create a task using the global list. In order to do this step, you are supposed to add activities to the general process flow to build the process flow that uses global list to create a transportation task. This is what it means. So let us make this bigger. The process flow is renamed here, okay, to global list. And now what you're going to do is we are going to add the process flow element step by step here. So let's say we added a source, right? This source comes in when the item is going to enter a queue on entry. So let me just reset this. Okay. And let us do these things. So now what we're going to do is we are going to make multiple different items here. So we created a source. Whenever an item is going to enter, this has to be triggered in such a way that whenever there is an item, it has to enter the system. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to add multiple events in here. So what events we need? We need source. We would require create task sequence. We need a load task. We need a travel, delay, unload, and then finish task sequence and then push to the list and then sync. Okay. And that is what we're gonna do now in this system out here. So when I begin this, right, what we're gonna do? We are now going to bring in multiple things. So we are going to click on the source where the item enters in a queue. What we're going to do is on entry, as I mentioned, we did that. And now in the properties of the label assignment, okay, what we are going to do is in the entering item, we are going to type a label name as item to transport. So let us do that. Item to transport is going to be our labeled assigned, and let us make that as assigned. Right? Once that is done, what we are going to do is we are going to have this thing available here. Okay? If you see. So this process is completely done. So let me make this source somewhat bigger, probably, so that becomes visible. Now what we're going to do is we are supposed to use another task sequence, another create task sequence thing. Here we have the create task sequence which we bring in, and now we are going to add properties to the create task sequence so that our things, so whatever logic we want to create, right, that we are creating now using process flow. As simple as that. So let us fill in the properties for that. And now what we're going to do is we are going to fill in all the details out here. So if you see the task executor thing, we are going to make it as none. The priorities, everything is different. And in this here, we are going to just make that rename. Dispatcher wait, we are going to remove this, and we are going to add transport task. Let me rename this. Transport task. So we have renamed this. Okay. And what you're gonna do is this. For now, you are not going to assign this task sequence to the specific task executor. That's why you have changed the task executor field display to none. Instead, you're going to create a new task sequence and dispatch it later. You will name this task sequence the transport task, and you'll assign the subsequent task to the task sequence before dispatching it to the global list. You got me? So at the end of this process flow, I'll understand what was the purpose of creating this and how is that functioning. So step by step, just you keep on creating the process flow, you'll understand how that properties has to be entered. Now let us put in a load function. In this load function, we are going to change the properties of it, right? So first, transport task is going to be the transport executor, right? And then in the item, we are going to have item to transport, which we already mentioned in the source. And the station where we are supposed to load is, we are going to get it from the dropper, and this is how it looks. So the load is also done. Now we are going to create a travel to object system, that is travel to the scan station thing. Here we will again do the same thing. We will make this as transport tasks, and the destination is going to be a scan station. And then we are going to create a delay thing, okay? And the delay is supposed to be this delay. Here we put in a delay. Same again, transport task delay, we are going to make it as say 1 minute, and then we have a BC status height. Then we are going to put a unload, right? Now we put the unload here. In the unload, same, we are going to put as the transport task. Item is going to be the item to transport, and the destination is supposed to be a processor 3A. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we are going to finish the task sequence, right?